thoroughly enjoyed the learning experience of this course. I think the most powerful impact for me has been understanding of levels from the integral theory model. How we make understanding of the world has been fascinating for me. I mean, the head of the bikie gang has a different worldview than, say, the Dalai Lama. Why? I didn't really understand. Getting to know and understand levels really helped provide a framework to understand the complexity of the issues involved. From a personal point of view, where it's been useful is in the workplace to be able to create a workplace environment where everybody can thrive. For example, when we would be setting a goal as a company, I would then craft individual messages to teams based around their stage of development. For example, in the accounts department, we would have a majority of the people there would have a worldview of amber, all about order. So emphasizing how important order played in the achievement of a goal was a good way of messaging directly with them. Talking about the sales department, it was much more about goals and achievements. So crafting a language that would reflect that helped the message resonate far more deeply with them. And together as a collective, we were able to achieve some pretty remarkable things. And that's why I love levels. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Maya, and I would like to present you the last part of PERMA model, that is A, accomplishments. Accomplishments refer to achieving of our goals. At the beginning of Integral Flourishing course, we set up our main goals as students and what we want to achieve with this class. I will share with you now what I have set up and one of my main goals and how I achieved it. My main goal was gather new experience in my career and also take care and improve my well-being. To be able to achieve these goals, definitely we have to first identify them. Dimensions and domain survey definitely helped me in identifying what is and seeing what is my current state of well-being, so I know on what parts I must work on. After identifying my state of well-being and my goal to have new experiences in my job career, I was able to set up my strategy. My strategy was taking care of my being with practices of yoga, meditation, getting enough sleep, and also my other part of my main goal was getting a new job opportunity. That means applying to the job ads inside my company and outside of my current company. So after 1 month, I was getting a new job position. My well-being definitely increased, and I must tell you that the most frequent question I got from my colleagues and friends and family was, how did you do it? And my answer would just be, I just flourished.
Greetings, my name is Roderick, and I have the honor of discussing lightly the Enneagram. An Enneagram is a typology which divides individual human personalities into 9 core types. As a result, I have found that my dominant number is a 9, which in short says that I am the peacemaker, or us 9s are the peacemakers. And everyone needs a peacemaker around. We're the ones that bring balance to a chaotic environment. But I also discovered that being a 9 can also mean that we are not as clear on our boundaries. So, I'm looking forward to you all having the opportunity to take your Enneagram test and add another dimension or a few different dimensions to discover who you are.
Hi everyone. So we will touch on relationships since we are a group of 2. And 2 of the models that we quite enjoyed or found useful was the one model of positive behavior by Claire Graves, and then the sort of negative psychological model by, what's his name? John Gottman. So in terms of the positive ways in which we can enrich a relationship, there are 3 things that Claire Graves considers. One is politeness, the second is openness, and the third is autocracy. So if I had to pick one personally, I think the politeness one is very important. That's perhaps part of my personality, but I personally find it very important that people communicate in a way that is respectful, and that indicates respect for the other person, because I think that is the bedrock of any relationship.
So politeness is definitely something that I need to continue to work on. But I feel like one of the other things that she talks about is openness, and that is something that I'm quite good at, where you're quite transparent about what you're experiencing and that you're open to feedback from others and stuff like that. So I'm good at openness, need to work on politeness. And then her third one was autocracy, which is realizing that you are the boss of yourself, but also realizing that everybody else is the boss of themselves too.
And then moving on to the, I guess, negative ones, the sort of behaviors you should avoid in your relationships. One is defensiveness. I suppose I can relate to that in some way. I tend to get defensive sometimes. And I've thought about it, and it's probably because there is a disconnect between intention and how your words and actions are perceived. And so if there is a perception that is different from your intention, I think that can lead to defensiveness. So I think for me, it's just a matter of being aware that if I feel genuine and someone doesn't reciprocate that, it's probably because they've perceived it differently, and I shouldn't, as a first reaction, be defensive.
Okay, the second one is criticism, and John Gottman says that it is found more frequently in females. So I guess that lots of the things, or in a fight when we're talking about things, criticism can come across probably because I'm trying to express myself, but I'm not doing it correctly, and it's coming out in like a negative kind of critical kind of way. So I think that I need to clock on and think about how I phrase what I'm saying so that it doesn't come across as critical or as criticism.
The third one is stonewalling, which I know I've been prone to in the past. It's probably an offshoot of defensiveness, perhaps. But again, if I'm faced with either a situation where I feel like I am being perceived wrongly, or a situation where I'm being spoken to without any respect for who I am or what I've done, then I tend to shut down. And so I guess I'm working on that. It's something that's useful to be aware of, so that I can try to stay as open as possible for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, I think with stonewalling, I think that was something that we were able to identify through this course, and I think John Gottman gave us a tip where it was like, just kind of say that you are feeling overwhelmed and that you will come back to the conversation and, you know, take your time and then come back. And I think that has worked for us, I guess. I don't know. And then finally there's contempt, which, to be honest, I hadn't really thought about, and hadn't really thought that it's something that I do, because it's the most destructive behavior and it sounds horrible, but they're all like little things, like, you know, rolling your eyes and mocking and, you know, saying hurtful things and sneering in disgust. So I think that unintentionally those are things, especially in a fight or when you're angry, that you do, and I think, again, or I definitely do. So I think it's something to be aware of and realize that it is a very damaging thing in relationships, and make an active effort not to do such things.
So that's it. Those are the things. As usual, these frameworks really help us to identify our behaviors and be aware of them, which is the first step to growth and flourishing. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.